officially en route north, which feels crazy to even say. But while we were heading south, there's a couple locations that were highly requested that we didn't get to, one of which being Slab City. That's been on my radar for years. I have the time to fit it in right now, so today's episode, we're en route to the Slabs.
Slab City's the last free place. That's our quote. We don't pay rent in Slab City. We're free to do whatever we want. There's no building codes.
Well, so it's really just a whole bunch of people who have decided that they're gonna live out here in the desert without plumbing or electricity.
We still abide the laws. You can't murder people, you can't injure people. People think Slab City's the lawless place. We don't have laws as far as noise ordinance, building codes, and leash laws, but all the other laws still apply. If you call the police, they will show up, and in Slab City, our motto is you don't call the police unless your life is in danger.
Because there's so many of us now, we have created a community, and we have all sorts of little groups and kind of tribes, they like to refer to themselves sometimes, and camps that kind of provide services, food, shelter, clothing.
This neighborhood is chill. Everyone around in my neighborhood is a year-rounder. We all know each other, we're all really friendly. We kind of have, if you live in the suburbs, it's like the neighborhood watch kind of thing, you know, we just have that mentality, that kind of atmosphere here, you know? We have a bike shop, we have a concert hall, we have a coffee shop called the Oasis Club that does coffee, breakfast on Sundays, music jam on Wednesday nights. If you move here and it doesn't exist, create it. If somebody wanted to come here and create a doggy wash station or a nail business, you know, mani-pedi, there's a place for whatever you do. You can do anything you want.
Nobody's gonna stop you. Nobody's gonna tell you that you can't lug a bunch of RVs in here full of old people that have been like hoarding crap in an RV for years and make that into artwork. Nobody's gonna tell you can't do that. In fact, they support it and encourage you to do it. So it was like a dream come true to me to come here and be so supported in what I was trying to do that I don't know when I'll leave.
The whole idea is to kind of turn this city from a place with outlaws to a place of like art and harmony and, you know. 20 years ago, it was a lot of outlaws, range runners, coyotes, you know, stuff like that. I don't really see it like that anymore, you know. Now it's kind of like people like me who want to do art or start a business.
There's more and more people coming out here to do the creative stuff. Like I said, Leonard was one of the first, and then Charlie came along and Builder Bill did his thing. And before that, it really wasn't an art mecca. So I do feel like it's in the past like 5 to 7 years, that people have really started to like step it up. And then like me and some of these other camps that are big and creative, and the individuals have only been here 3 or 4 years, you know, we're all trying to make it more of an art community, less of this dangerous, dystopic, drug-addicted type of community. We want it to be a healthy, happy, art is your therapy type of situation.
That's where I see Slab City going into the future, is a direction that I'm trying to describe like that. Some sort of beautiful utopia where people play music and are non-judgmental.
More people, I think, are going to come here and try to help the ones who need help out here. And there's a lot of people that they either have mental disorders or they have drug addictions or alcoholisms to the point where they need a lot of help and support. And it's amazing how good it feels to help somebody, like to reach down and pull somebody up who is literally just going down the toilet bowl. And they know they are, there's nothing they can do to stop it. But if somebody comes along and just, you know, like, I like you, you know, you're a good person. And all of a sudden they don't want to die anymore. They're not trying to kill themselves anymore. So that's amazing. And that happens a lot out here. And I think there's a lot of people coming out here to do that. There's a lot of ministries that come out here, and it's for that. It's for the same thing. and try to give some of these people hope again.
You know who's really moving to Slab City right now? Lots of independent females. These females that moved to Slab City have already been through every worst tragedy you can ever imagine, you know? Imagine picking bad boyfriends, raising children alone, having minimum wage jobs while you're doing it, you know? These ladies that moved to Slab City are survivors, dude.
Because there's nobody here to tell us that we can't. That's probably it. I think that you finally find a place where you have to be able to say no. You have to stand up for yourself. And a lot of these women have probably been like me, where I was in a marriage, you know, and like it was a fine marriage, but it was kind of a controlling one. You know, men have always kind of had a little bit of control in the direction that my life has gone. And so getting out here, yeah, we're standing up for ourselves, and we don't need a man out here. And I guess the women that find their way out here are just already that independent of a woman. That's got to be something like that, because you're right, every one of them out here are super independent and strong.
Ladies stay, they add to the city, they're add to their own sisterhood. They, boy, once they set up their camp, they don't move. They get real territorial, and we all respect that, and we back our ladies up in Slab City, 100%.
Because we're here and we're doing this, we're actually creating a lot of tourist activity that wouldn't be here at all if it weren't for us. So all of these little mom and pop things, all the way back to Imperial, or all the way back to, Palm Springs, on this side of the mountain, they're all getting so much more revenue than they would be if we weren't here. I really think so, because so many, it's like thousands and thousands and thousands of people come out here in the winter, every day. Like all day long, it's just cars. Like I've lived in a lot of places, I've been in a lot of tourist places. This is like Ocean Beach at times, the traffic that's out here. You're just like, this is insanity.
Oh, when I moved to Slab City, I started making these little miniature Salvation Mountains out of adobe, the same adobe that Leonard Knight used on the mountain. Number each one, sign them, and I just opened up my own souvenir shop. And everything's going really good, and it's a really positive message to put out, you know.
Woke up this morning with the sunrise in my eyes.
Leonard Knight was a very, very faithful man. He was trying to spread the word of Jesus Christ up north somewhere with a big giant hot air balloon.
He came out here just like all of us crazy people, and he wanted to broadcast God's love to the world. Leonard Knight wrote God's love on a hot air balloon, brought it out here, and the thing never took flight. It rotted. So instead of being discouraged, the man said, now that I'm here in the desert, I'm going to build an 8-foot sign that says God is love. That 8-foot sign turned into an entire mountain.
My ride sweeter to meet the one I love.
From what I understand, also was a huge failure many, many, many times before he got the right concoction together to make it stick and stay. And now it's caved in. And I don't think anybody can figure out how he did it, because they haven't fixed it, and it's been like that since just after I got here.
Salvation Mountain is completely non-denominational. It doesn't belong to any religion. It's a statement. God is love, you know?
If you're a fan of this channel, almost certainly you're aware of the story of Christopher McCandless. That man has been a huge inspiration throughout my whole life, and I definitely owe him some credit for me even making it to the Slabs. One of my favorite chapters of his great Alaskan adventure is his time in Slab City, meeting Tracy, singing at the range, climbing Salvation Mountain. And the motorhome is no magic bus, but it's taken me to some amazing places. And seeing the motorhome sitting in front of Salvation Mountain, that was a very special moment for me.
I don't know how and don't know why, but I'll be toasting all my life.
And then East Jesus is a whole different story. Charlie, he did, moved into the town dump, is from what I understand. They used to drive their stuff all the way back here and just dump it back there. And Charlie decided that he was going to start making his camp back there. And I guess he just started making the artwork and stuff out of the garbage.
Slab City's gravitational pull is so strong, it's like a black hole, you know? You can't resist it. If it calls you, when I moved to Slab City, I decided to build my camp just like a resort. I'm in a resort, so I built a water feature with a waterfall. I got a king-size canopy bed that I built. A glorious outdoor kitchen that is, the appliances are fit for a restaurant.
I now live in Slab City as an artist and the proprietor of the House of Dots. That is an art camp. It's a maze of trailers, and I call it Amazing Art. And so you're supposed to wander around and go through and make note of all of the odd things that I have selected to put together, things I've made.
All my stuff's like outdoors. I have many different RVs, so I have all this stuff a mansion would have. It's just all spread out, you know? I have a kitchen, I have a laundry room, I have an art gallery, I have a studio. You know, I have several different rooms in this camp, a living room, huge living room. I could have 25 people over with instruments to play in my living room.
If you can endure the summer, you can do it. I mean, it's really, anybody can. It's just getting through the summer, figuring out how you're gonna do that. And that's what keeps people from living here year-round. We would have so many more people living here if it weren't for the summer heat.
Summer is 125 degrees for 3 months in a row. By the end of it, you will be begging for 100. I'm talking even at night. Better like drinking warm water, a whole bunch of it.
It took a real hardy person to be able to endure the summer heat. And so it wasn't until solar and people would have air conditioning and misting systems and things like that that make it much more comfortable. So now that that's happened, where most people at least have enough electricity to have a fan and maybe a spritzer bottle, you can survive out here like under a tree with just those two things and a book.
You know, believe me, everybody who moves to Slab City is going through a transition. That's one thing that we all have in common.
Most of us are donation based out here. It's like we're not, I mean, most of us sell something, but like really it's more about the art and less about the money. And the minimalist attitude makes it so that money's not really your main goal out here. I did come here with a little bit of money, not a lot. Like when I talk about a little bit of money, it was not, I think the first year I was only like $1,200 in on buying trailers. And I kind of looked at it like how much it used to cost me to live in my rig for a month. And I was like, well, I can easily cough up $250 for another RV that I'm going to use for an art project or a library or a closet.
I had a little bit of savings. I had $6,000 in a PT Cruiser, and I made this whole thing work. I built a gallery and a studio in 3 years out of like nothing.
It's getting ready to get hot. We'll start getting on each other's nerves. There'll be a lot of fighting, a lot of yelling. The stuff that you hear about on the internet, that's the summertime. In the winter, it's just a big party. And everybody's just having a good time. A lot of music, a lot of camps do music. So it just becomes like a really social gathering place.
I want to give a great big thank you to Dot and Peter, and in fact everyone, for the hospitality out at Slab City. Really interesting place with some very interesting people, even more so than can properly be covered in a 15-minute episode. So I think I might dive a little bit deeper into that in the Destination Adventure podcast. But thanks for watching, everybody. As always, take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints. I'll catch you on the next one.
It's never easy being told you're not enough, you don't fit this mold. That bitter feeling, no sugarcoating that. It'll knock you down, flat on your back. Oh no, 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 this isn't some little love song or a cold shoulder, dear, for your tears to freeze on. So there will be another one, something new to fall into, and it'll be a better one. morning sun. It'll be a better one. There will be a better one.